It's Saturday night.
Time for your weekly dose of pop culture
with Kathy and Kenny. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture. And you know what? Our intro says Saturday night, and we have shifted to Sunday night because we just did. I think when I did my play, we wound up switching over. But nevertheless, we are here on a Saturday night. And hey, Archer
Yes.
in the building. What's up? What's up? What's
Yo,
up?
what's up, man?
What's up? I've been watching him this weekend. I haven't commented either. I've just been watching him as he gets online to bust. And I don't watch. I usually don't watch games, but I've been
Yeah,
enjoying and
well, I
intrigued.
was
So
I
I go.
was watching him Thursday night.
Oh,
I
you
watched
are.
him Thursday night, and what time is that? What time are you doing that coffee thing, Archer? And tomorrow morning, I want to be there for that.
Oh, nerdy coffee. I think
Or-
it's at 9 our time,
yeah.
Eastern time. I believe
No,
it's
I
9.
think he's doing it earlier because he's got a new gig. So I think he's doing it earlier, like 7:30,
Oh God. Okay, I don't do
7 to
that.
7:30.
I'm trying to get my rusty butt to work.
Ooh,
But Hey Archer is one of the channels that we watch and support because again we're just nerds. And I know on Thursday nights I watch the beginning of um, a nerd affiliated, and then I do change at 9 o'clock to watch the VHS Club because it's movies, and
Yeah,
that's
Chess Club. I was off Thursday, and I wanted to watch. I wanted to catch that, and I was off Thursday, and
and they're
you
going through
know,
this whole cycle of
I
like, and there's and I feel like I have to watch because I keep making the recommendations and they keep choosing some of my recommendations. So they
really,
did Fame.
what they do last week?
They did Fame, they did Footloose, they did Flashdance. So I think the '80s musical will continue, and the next show will be, I think, Dirty Dancing will be the culmination of that
I need to
whole
suggest the
musical
Magnificent
triumphant. But they keep
franchise.
taking my recommendations, so I gotta watch, it's a fun
I
time
need to
as
suggest
Katie and
the
Nat
Magnificent Seven
review
franchise.
these movies. I'm sorry, I was interrupting you.
I'm sorry. I need to suggest the Magnificent Seven franchise.
Okay, well, you can suggest it, but
Well,
again, if you're not a tater tot, if you don't watch regularly, they're not going to listen to you. Anyway, it's another Sunday night, and we're talking pop culture. And I know today's theme is a little depressing, but it's the 27 Club.
yeah,
So, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But before we do, we have to do what we do, and that is say hi to you guys in the comments. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on a Sunday night, and also give you a little pop culture
let us know you
news.
here.
And usually, and here's how our life works. Uh, I do all the like I'll do the slideshow and change the scenes because sometimes it needs to just be all about me and not about Kenny. But like how I did that.
Wow,
Ouch. But
wow.
Kenny actually comes up with a list of what we talk about, and I have it hot off the presses as I reach for the presses. Oh, that's Black Westerns. Okay, that's last week's list. Get that out of here.
Oh man.
Okay, I messed up on that part. But anyway, but usually Kenny gives us our pop culture news. And when I looked at the sheet, like our run sheet of what we're going to talk about and the different topics, I did not see any pop culture news, so I had to make up some news. And actually, I'm not making up the
That's
news.
totally my bad.
Actually, it's stuff that happened in the news related to pop culture. If you hadn't heard, Harvey Weinstein, who went to jail for rape, uh, actually his verdict was overturned. But I don't know whether that's good news for him because I think he might have to serve in California. So, like in New York, he got a pass.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
good evening, Lisa. Our cousin Lisa's in the
he's still in
house.
jail.
What?
He's still in jail. He's still
Oh,
in jail.
oh, he's still in jail. Yeah, I mean, you rape
Yeah,
some
he's still
women,
in
me
jail.
too. You know,
Yeah,
the
he's
chickens
got a
have to
couple of
come home to
cases,
roost.
man.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
he's got a couple of cases.
I'm sorry, what was that?
He's got a couple of cases. He's still in jail.
Okay, all right, he's still got some time to serve. And my other piece of pop culture news, and I know it's not news to you because you don't like Howard Stern. I do, and I listen on his channels. And actually, I was listening Friday, and usually Friday he's not live. He's live Monday through Wednesdays when he's not on vacation. But he was live on Friday, and he was actually live because he had an in-person interview with the president, Joe Biden. I thought that was a um, pretty significant that he
Wow.
had like the president on for an interview, and it was actually a pretty good interview, and I
Now,
enjoyed listening to it. And it was a big contrast as far as the folks running for president. Now that we're down to basically two people, Trump and Biden. You had Biden talking to Howard Stern, but you had Trump in court doing his Trumpy things. So interesting. Anyway,
I mean,
yeah.
because will you think he will have Trump on his show?
Actually, he's had Donald Trump on his show. He hasn't had him as a candidate, but I don't think because I think when he ran in 2016, he asked for Howard Stern's support, and Howard Stern was like, "Thank you, no," and couldn't do it. So I think he's kind of mad at him. So he,
Thank you, but note that well, it's Trump. He gets mad at everybody.
yeah, he's kind of
So,
mad at him.
yeah, well, you're gonna have to be mad.
Yeah.
I am
Go
the
ahead.
king of making people mad. So yeah, I'm okay with
Okay. Who are you making
it.
mad?
Well, last night I was asked to judge a poetry slam,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess people don't like losing.
Oh. Were you an
I gave somebody a bad mark.
unbiased assessor? Like you were a fair judge?
Yeah, yeah, I was unbiased, and I was like, I did what I did, and I don't know why people haven't realized that I'm the kind of person that will say what I want to say, even if
Mm-hmm.
it gets me in trouble. So,
Even if it
it
gets
is
you in
what it
trouble,
is.
you're
I'm
still
okay
gonna
with it.
you're gonna shout it from the roof
Even if
from the
I'm going to say what
rooftops.
I'm going to
Shout
say,
it
man.
out.
Yeah, hey, what?
I said from the rooftops.
What'd you
Shout it
say?
out. Even if it gets you in trouble, you're still gonna say it.
Look, I'm going to stick by my word.
All right.
So we are talking about um, the 27 Club,
And I didn't
and these
realize,
are
like
artists, and
I would have actually, I don't know why we're working with a bit of a delay today, but I would have actually called the thing the 27 Club. And I know we were talking about it going back and forth. I just put Gone at 27. But when I looked on
yeah,
Wikipedia, there's actually something called the 27 Club, which is kind of creepy,
yes.
eerie.
Well, yeah, it is, but it's not because it's kind of true,
Hmm.
and it's kind of a thing. Now, I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna start with the first person, and this is kind of like the start of the 27 Club. There are a lot of people before
Yeah,
this
this is
person
weird because
on the 27
on this
Club.
graphic, we're inside the wrong heads. I'm sorry.
Yeah, why? Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna start with Robert Johnson. Now, Robert Johnson, one of the things that made him famous more than anyone, and maybe one of the starts of this club, is that he was there was a documentary made on him, and I'm trying to think of what the name of the documentary was. And I believe it was on Netflix, but it was something like the devil, something with the devil title in it. Because here's the thing about this man: he was rumored to have made a deal with the devil. Um, he was a guitar player, he was a blues player, and he wasn't that good. And then he went away for like a year and disappeared. Then he came back, and all of a sudden he was like this fantastic guitar player. Now, you know, and people are saying like the things he could do with the guitar at this point, the way he advanced, his story about making a deal with the devil kind of made sense because everybody's like, yeah, he couldn't learn how to play that good that quick within
Mm.
a year. But you know, apparently, he did, and they say he made a deal with the devil, and it's a little bit of a scrutiny on how he was killed or how he died. So one of the ways they say he died was he had syphilis, which back in those days was a thing.
And
Another way they
who
say he
knows, the
died
government might
was
have given it to
he
him.
was the government might have given it to him. And another way they say he died is that he was poisoned because he was messing around with the wrong woman. He was messing around with a married woman, and the husband poisoned him.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of different things. And see, the thing that is back in those days, you're talking. He passed away in 1938. So he was born in 1911. He passed away in 1938. The thing about it is, in those days, black people, and he was in the South. So black people in the South weren't taken to the same hospitals as normal. Like they did, we didn't have the same health advantages as some people. And certain people couldn't. So I don't even think there was a proper autopsy done or anything. So this guy
But and
passed away at the age of
evidently,
27 mysteriously.
Was he the start of this kind of mysterious musicians dying at 27 club?
Well, in our modern age, he was. In our modern age, he was. There were some people in like the 1800s who were composers and different musicians who died at the age of 27
Oh wow.
before before this. But he it was like four maybe people. Rupert Brooke, Louis Chauvin, Alexandre Levy, and Joseph Merrick, who all were musicians and ragtime musicians and different things. But um, well, Joseph Merrick was, of course, the Elephant Man,
Okay.
and he died at 27.
I also saw there were
So
some actors. I know we're focused on the singers, but there were some actors too who died at 27. And I
yes,
have read them, and I
there was acting.
the actor who played
Yeah, there was the
Chekhov.
actor who just passed away.
Um,
Yes, he was 27. There was also another actor who just passed away like a week or so ago who was 27. And he
wow.
was in Generation B, and he was also in Sabrina, I believe.
Okay. See, I don't know who that is.
The Netflix Sabrina that they did.
I don't know. It's weird, Kitty, because your lips are moving, but I'm not hearing your sound till later, and I don't know whether that's on my end or your end. Or maybe it's just me. I don't know
Really?
if anybody else. Or maybe
It
I'm
might
the one
be
with the
issue.
delay. It just feels like there's a delay. And
It
I'm
could,
not
I,
fe-
I don't see a delay with your voice.
okay. All right.
It could be with me. Am I delayed?
I don't
People
know.
out there,
It's
let
been
me
a
know.
long
We
weekend.
got 5 people. Let me know if I'm delayed. Yeah, it's been a long weekend for me too.
It's
You
been a
know,
long weekend. All right, let's get back
so
to the list. We're doing 27 Club here on Kathy and Kenny explain pop culture, those musical performers who died at the young age of 27. You realize that's like more than ha- double our age or half our age or something like that. I'm just-
yeah, I wasn't talking about that. I really wasn't going to bring that up. But if you
I
want to
mean,
bring that up,
but that's so
you
young.
know.
Oh, I know. And Lisa saying
So
she never knew it was a thing to be gone at 27, and she is saying that there is a slight delay. See, I'm not making that up. I'm like that. It's kind of a weird. I'm not used to it. We never had it before, and I don't know why we do. But you know what?
we don't have
I have Rectum Internet or Spectrum Internet, and it can be its own thing.
rectum. And
I'm sorry, Spectrum Internet. And okay,
what,
on to the
what
list.
kind of internet is rectum internet? I don't understand.
It's Spectrum when it doesn't work. Um, anyway, thanks for hanging out with us. It's Kathy and Kenny explain pop culture.
Amy Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse. Oh, you know what? The
Amy
play I just
Winehouse.
did
Born,
called Barbecue. That was our closing song. So when we came out to do our curtain call, we did it to Amy Winehouse's Rehab, and I guess what's so sad about some of these people, because this was a person who, yeah, she definitely had a powerful voice. I will give her that. I don't know how much of her music you've listened to, but but also
I
just problems and issues. And you would think, especially with some of these performers, that the people around them wouldn't enable that behavior. Like, why why are so many, especially of our 80s icons gone? Whitney, Prince, Michael. It's like,
well,
why were the people
hey,
around them enabling that behavior and not getting them help? And maybe they
money
did
will
go and
buy
get
you.
help and had rehab or whatever, but oh, my goodness, it's just very sad.
Money will buy you. Yes, man. Money will buy you. Yes, man. That's
Mm.
just the simple point of it all. That
So
person's making
I need to
money, so
be
whatever they
for and
say
have
goes.
people telling me no all the time.
Yeah, basically.
Yes. Oh, so
They
now
say,
you're my yes
that's what
man.
they say. Yes, so. I'm your yes man. Yes, yes.
You're my
Yes, to
yes
be
man.
poor.
But it's just
And we're doing a
I
good
guess
job
that's
of
what
it
made
too.
me sad
Oh,
about this week. It's going to kind of bum me out. We're gonna have to bring it back up somehow, but because it seems like a lot of these people had a lot of potential and to die so young, and again, is it as a cautionary tale to the rest of us, or? But the other part too is all these musicians, the musical legacy and things that they left behind. So we have that. So next on the list.
yes, yes. Amy Winehouse. I actually cover one of her songs when I perform.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's the Valerie.
I actually cover Valerie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Valerie. I actually cover that. It's actually Mark Rumpson, but Amy Winehouse is doing the singing. Next, we have Kurt Cobain.
Kurt Cobain. Now, and this one is
February 20th,
controversial.
1967 to April 5th, 1994. Suicide.
But now some people
Could
say
it be
he,
rain? Could it be snow?
yeah, some people say he was
Go ahead.
murdered, and they want to blame his then wife Courtney Love. I was about to say Courtney Cox, and I'm like, whoa. Um, but
I'm
but
not
yeah, and it's weird. I remember I was on a crosstown bus with Nancy Pollock, of all people. I don't know whether we were heading to a show, coming back to a show, or just hanging out for dinner in New York City when we heard about his death. But I know in the 90s, early 90s, again, Nirvana had this tons of promise. And I have to tell you, I did enjoy that album, Nevermind. I actually had the Nevermind album with Smells Like Teen Spirit
Oh,
and
really?
uh, oh yeah, there were some good cuts on it, and you know they rock. I like a good
The
rock.
thing with this is
The what?
a lot of these artists that we're going to come to are a lot of these artists that we're coming to are all considered kind of sort of geniuses in their craft.
Mm-hmm.
So they leave and they were like the best of what they did
Could
at the
but
time.
could you imagine like
And yeah,
the
Kurt
different
Cobain.
music they would have come out with had they lived to 30? Have they
Yes,
been around today?
yes. And then one of the artists when we get to the top art when we get to the artist at the top, I have a great something he was working on before he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
That he was trying to get together before he passed away, which blew everybody's mind. It would have blew everybody's mind, and it's something like you wish really would have happened.
Mm.
Next, we have Brian Jones, and he was a drummer of Rolling Stones. February 28th, 1942 to July 3rd, 1968, and he is said to have died from drowning.
But now, was that because he was inebriated, or wasn't there some? I thought there was some
Um,
more to his death, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think it might have been, none of these people actually passed away under the best circumstances.
Mm.
And, you know,
So,
his,
so do you think they
I don't
all,
think he was inebriated.
uh,
He might have been inebriated.
or just an accidental
I
drowning?
wouldn't put it past because, like, yeah, I mean, they found him. See, sometimes a lot of these people are found dead, so you don't know what happened that they got found that way before they were found. Um, so I mean, like they found him and then took him to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So it's death by it was classified as death by misadventure. And noticed that his liver and heart were greatly enlarged by past drug and alcohol abuse.
Mm.
So it's kind of one of the things like when Matthew Perry passed away, even though he wasn't 27, he had all the drugs already in his system, and it was
and
one of the contributing
and
factors.
that stuff can mess you up. It can really mess you up. So yeah. And even though you might not, you might be cleaning yourself up, the lasting impact on your body, I think people realize that with, Matthew Perry's death too, that the long-term effect. And I think he almost had a couple brushes with death, because I think some of the drugs he was doing, especially, popping pills and stuff, did so much damage to his stomach. Like, I mean, you can really, really, really hurt yourself.
Yeah,
And you got to be careful, because even, like, I know I have Graves' disease. Okay, it's a thyroid thing. So I don't have a thyroid. I had to take this radiation pill, so my thyroid is gone. I know this is too much information, but I'm just telling you this because now, because I don't have a thyroid, I have to take a pill every day, and if I don't take the pill, I, I can get really wobbly and really like out of sync. More so than normal. But in any case, some of the other medicines I have to take, because I'm also anemic and I don't have iron and that kind of junk, I have to space them apart, because if I take them together, that could like throw me all like nutso. So you've really got to pay attention with any of that stuff that you're taking and doing. And if you're taking the illegal stuff, you know, CVS pharmacy isn't going to call you with a notice saying, "Hey, you know what? That meth is really going to mess you up if you start taking Tylenol." I'm just saying. You might want to put
not
that
that.
Moscato down, because it's not going to really go with your cocaine. You know?
No,
I'm sorry. It's
you're
it's
not
just
really
such a
going to
dark
help out with
topic. I got to make
cooking
it
there, man.
lighter.
Yeah. So, that being said, hey Kathy, why don't you tell them how they can support?
Oh, well, actually, you're already supporting. Thank you so much for being here, hanging out with us on a Sunday night. I'm going to stop banging the table. You can support us. Visit our website, kathyandkenny.com. You can also check us out on Who's Got Next Radio. Like, comment, and subscribe right here on YouTube to our channel, Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture. If you're catching us on Facebook, check us out on YouTube and join. We're up to 50 followers. We'll get there from 50 to 50,000. People will catch on.
Wow, look
Eventually,
at there.
they'll all catch on. I'm sorry, I went fast. I was breezing through. I was like moving. I was moving. You know, it's one of those things.
So we got a final three.
We're down to our final three.
We got a final three. Yes. And this one is Jim Morrison, the
And I
lead
think,
singer of the Doors, December 8th, 1943 to January the 3rd, 1970, July 3rd, rather, 1971. It was a heart attack, but it was also a possible heroin overdose. And here, this one's like really kind of sketchy because there's a possibility that he died one place and the body was moved to another.
mm, why?
But in France, because I think he might have been with the drug dealer who gave him the heroin, and they's like, "Oh crap, Jim Morrison just died, and we can't have him here. Let's take him back to his place and put him in the tub."
Mm,
So, but here's the thing: in France, they don't have to do like an autopsy report. So there's no hard, solid evidence on what happened, and there's some conflicting stories about when authorities were called and things like that.
mm. Well, that would be the
So
first celebrity death
it's
that
I say
had like
heart attack.
mystery around it.
Yes, there's a lot of celebrity deaths that have mystery around it because a lot of times when celebrities pass away, when they die, and it's an unfortunate death, then a lot of times people have to a lot of times people try to do things to cover up so the world doesn't know that this person died because of this or that, and then they have to go back and okay, well, you know what? So, and that's what happens a lot of times.
Hmm.
They try to protect the person's image when they do die.
Yeah.
Next, we have Janis Joplin, January 19th, 1943 to October in 1970. I didn't get the date there, but this was a drug overdose, and this is some alcohol and heroin also. The sad story about this is truly a sad story. Um, Janis Joplin was the kind of person who comes out from reading about her. She was the kind of person who needed that affirmation that people loved her. And one of the reasons she got these drugs, because they said like there's a drug dealer who was probably the last person to talk to her. One of the reasons she got these drugs is because she was supposed to one of the two of her lovers was supposed to come over, and she was in this poly relationship, I guess. And because of her drug use, neither one of them talked to her or wanted to come, and she got kind of stood up, and she was depressed, so she went out and got heroin, and she told the hotel she was found in, she told them to hold all her calls, like don't send any calls up to me. I'm not talking to nobody. Y'all done pissed me off. I'm going to go ahead and do this and this, that, and the other. So she was by herself, and
Did, was the
apparently the person
implication
who
that
sold her the heroin,
who what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last part.
the person who sold her the heroin evidently had a batch that was bad heroin, and a lot of other people passed away that weekend from the same cut of heroin that Janis Joplin took
Mm,
because she wanted to soothe herself from the depression. She took the heroin, and the batch the guy gave her and a lot of other people that weekend um, killed a lot of people. So I don't know what happened to the guy. I assume he probably got caught and is in jail for multiple murder.
mm. Or maybe he didn't get caught. I mean, if they didn't find like the source, uh, who knows? That's
No,
pretty
they found the
sad.
source. I'm pretty sure they found the source.
That is. I mean,
Pretty sure they found the source.
these are just some pretty sad and depressing stories because it seems like we were talking about the actor who played Chekhov in the Star Wars reboot, and I know he was killed in a car accident
Yes.
where he got pinned by a car, but that was like accidental. But the fact that he was 27 puts him kind of in this club, even though this club tonight is kind of focused on musicians. But it seems like more than half of the musicians that we've talked about tonight, I don't know, it just feels like it could have their demise could have been prevented, and because they had such, like,
Yeah.
to me, stacks of talent, when you're talking like a Janis Joplin or Amy Winehouse and Kurt Cobain, it just seems like, I don't know, did we fail them as a society by putting the pressure on them? um you know we talk pop culture, and we talk about celebrities and different things, but is that a label that we put on people that just causes them too much pressure? I told you when I watched that Quiet on the Set, I got real sad and I got real depressed because I also saw pictures on Instagram of Amanda Bynes, and I just thought she was just talented, funny actress. I loved her in Easy A.
Yeah. Right.
Um, and but then when I see her now, it looks like she's totally like distorted her face and her body to be like as
Yeah.
unattractive as possible. And to me, it just screams that maybe she was, abused in some way. But I don't know that this price of fame, is it worth it? Is it worth it?
It
Your
depends. It
thoughts?
depends. It depends.
It depends. I don't know. I don't
It
know. I
depends on the
think
person and what
I
they.
think the brass ring that people are
It
reaching
depends on the
for.
person and what they had to go through. Yeah, I mean, because well, see, and you can't go by every instance. There's some musicians who are able to keep their reputations clean and do things the right way. There's some actors, even young actors, who are able to get through unscathed and have a good career. So
And
it's
why is that?
it's I guess it's in who you are.
And I don't
But
know.
a lot of those
And
people
maybe it comes
have
back to it might come back to family because if your parents are pushing you to be a child star, is it because it's something you want to do and a need that you truly have, or is it something they're pushing on you because again they want fame, they want money, and the love of all that stuff just to me doesn't feel healthy. And to me it seems like the performers who
I was
do
broke.
who perform and who do art for art's sake and not for fame or adulation or money, uh, to me are the ones that should have success and should have fame because they are doing it from a real place, not a
Right.
place of soothing their own ego. I don't know, just my thoughts.
Exactly. Exactly. And I
Just my
was
thoughts.
actually today, now we talk about it. I was a friend of mine who's on the show, Gerald
Hmm.
Webb, is a producer, director, actor, and he was the executive producer of this movie that's out now called Unsung Hero. Unsung, and I saw a premiere today, and he had me a couple of free tickets to see the premiere today. Unsung Hero is a story about Rebecca St. James, who's a Christian rock singer or a Christian singer,
Hmm.
and it tells the story of a family coming from Australia, coming to America, and working hard, praying for everything they got, and it was deep into their faith. And now she's a Christian singer, and now she's apparently world famous in that genre. And it, they had family to back them up,
Hmm.
and the family was always praying together, and the family did everything together. And when she first went on tour, the whole family, like they had like 7 kids, the whole family went with them. So someone like that coming up through, and that's you have people like you have child actors like Kim Fields,
Hmm.
who's still acting today and still starring in shows and everything. But
Regina
she had a
King.
mother who was in the business, Chip Fields, and then when you go to Instagram, uh, you know, you go to Instagram, she has she's always with her sister or her mother or some type of family or something like that. So the family does help.
Family does help. That's Lisa saying that she attended the funeral services online for Mandisa. We talked about her last week passing away, and and I guess her dad said that she was found in her bedroom on the floor and was suffering from COVID-19 that she couldn't get rid of it, and that's that long-term COVID that some people have suffered from. Now you have never had COVID, have you?
Knock wood.
Yeah. I did
Let's not jinx me now.
I had it last September. That was the first time I had gotten it, but thanks to having all my shots. I don't think I've had the last shot though. Um, you know, and I took the
I haven't
medicine. I
had the
was able to
last
get
shot,
over it.
but I've been fortunate. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been fortunate. So you know, um, it is what it is. So we're gonna go to our last person,
Our last one,
and that is Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix,
He was Prince before
born
he was
November
Prince.
22nd, 1942, passed away September, huh?
He was Prince
Passed
before
away
there was
September
Prince.
18th, 1970. Yeah, he was Prince before there was Prince. He died of asphyxia on his own vomit, drug induced. He took some, I believe he took some prescription pills, some sleeping pills, and he took too many.
Mm,
And that's what killed him. A couple of things about Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix actually um, is one of my mantras. When I say that, I mean I follow what he said a few times and how he's done things. But one time he was in an interview with Dick Cavett, and he walked in, he sat down, and Cavett goes, "How does it feel to be the best guitar player in the world?" And Jimi Hendrix said, "I'm the best guitar player in this chair right now. I'm not the best guitar player in this world." And if anything, especially with what I do when I perform and everything, if anything, that was one of the statements and I tell a lot of people that statement, especially other musicians and younger musicians, because that to me is the most humbling statement in the world, because here you have somebody who's considered the greatest guitar player ever, and he sat there and said, excuse me, I'm the best guitar player in this chair right now. And that's a very humbling statement when you so and I always say if somebody like Jimi Hendrix can say something like that, then no one has a right not to be humble. One of the dark sides of Jimi Hendrix was he was also known to be a violent drunk.
Yeah.
So if you got too much, he drank a lot of alcohol, and if you got too much alcohol in him, he was known to be a violent drunk. You can get knocked out, you can get hit.
My
Man, woman, child, I don't care
goodness.
who you are.
How old do
He
you
was a
have to
violent
start
drunk.
drinking to be a alcoholic by 27? Like, how jaded could your life have
Well,
been?
here's the thing. He was in the service. He didn't really start taking heavy drugs. He probably smoked marijuana, but he didn't start doing like acid and heavy drugs until later in life. And I think they said the one source said that the Monterey Festival
Festival?
was one of the places where he started doing that. Probably wasn't until like 67, 68. So he really, I guess once he did the drugs, he really got into the drugs: LSD, heroin, cocaine, and alcohol all at once.
Mm.
So I guess when he wanted to take this, sleeping. And the thing about this is that he had talked to the experience, the Jimi Hendrix experience, had broken up before he passed away, and he was taking time, and I think he was overseas in London or whatever. And what's the thing with the artist going overseas? I don't know, but he was over there, and that's where he passed away.
Stay away from overseas if you don't
So
if you don't want
stay
to
with if you're stay with stay in America. Yeah,
stay on.
So yeah, and 'cause yeah, stay on it. And I thought I could have sworn Mama Cass was on this list, but she's not.
Okay. I think
I
she
could have
she was
sworn
older.
Mama Cass was on
Was
this
she
list.
older than 27 when she passed away?
Yeah, she might have been older. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, she had to have been older than 27 because she's not on this list. I mean, if you have Jimi Hendrix and if you have Hendrix, Joplin, and Morrison on this list, then if Mama Cass was
And I
on
think
this
that's
list,
why
then
they came
they
up
they would have had her.
with the 27 club, cuz like even though we talked about Robert Johnson earlier, but most of these happened in the 60s, and I think because some of them, it was so kind of close together that we lost a lot of those musicians in the 60s at that age, that people started
Yeah,
putting those pieces together for this club. Or I'm sorry, not the 60s, the early 70s. 19 September, October, and then July
late
of
70s,
71 for like those last three.
yeah, and there was a lot of people that did, and there's a lot more on this list that I saw, and I mean, like you said, a lot of these are drug induced things, or alcohol induced things, or drug induced things. With these people that you have to learn from the past, to keep it moving. You have to learn from the mistakes of the past. So I mean that's pretty much what it is. But there was a lot of drug induced things going on that these people were dying from, and there was a lot. I mean, the list is if you Wikipedia the 27 Club, you will see the list is very long,
Oh yeah, it's like
and we only took the few people out. Just to,
yeah, it's like three times like almost 10 times the short list that we talked about today. And I think our focus was just on some
we're talking about.
musicians, especially like the popular more a couple of the more popular musicians or well-known musicians who all died at the age of 27.
And recently in the 2000s, I noticed there was a lot of in the 2000s, 2020, 22, there was a lot of Russian and Korean
Hmm. Yeah,
musicians
I
and
saw that on
rappers that
there.
were
Yeah.
just
Like a
dying at an
Russian
early age.
rapper and Korean
They were just
actress.
dying at an early age.
Yeah. And
And I
even
didn't really know who they were, so I didn't put them on there.
yeah, there were some rappers too that were on there too, like a Nigerian rapper. But like you said, not quite as famous,
Yeah,
but I'm sure well known at some point. Oh, and I didn't know Elvis
yeah,
Presley's grandson and son of Lisa Marie Presley died at 27. Wow.
yeah,
Okay. I'm looking at the list now.
yes.
And like I think
You
the
got
list you
sure.
did was a good one cuz it kind of hit the highlights of people that we actually know on the 27 club. So, I know we're cutting out early, but what are we talking about
Yes.
next week as you come up with these lists of pop culture topics on Kathy and
Next
Kenny
week we
Explain
need to
Pop
keep it up.
Culture?
We need to talk about something very happy. We need to talk about something very happy and very
Yeah.
fun and very funny.
We need something upbeat.
And I have a
Definitely.
couple ideas ahead.
I know
I
we've
have a
done a lot
couple
of
ideas
movies, so
ahead.
we were dipping
Um,
into music this week. So you have to go back and work on it.
yeah, I
Do you
want
have
to
a
do
lot
something
of
about.
shows this week?
Yeah, I want to do something. I have a lot of shows this week.
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I have Thursday. I have an open mic. I have to host. Friday, I don't know. I might get fired. I don't know. I might have to host open mic. They might fire me. Who knows? Who knows? Could it be rain? Could it be snow? All depending on the weather. Who knows?
Okay. It sounds good.
Like I said, I'm just making enemies everywhere I go. Yeah, But in any event, um, next week, how about if we talk about? Um, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank because I had it a minute ago, and I'm drawing a blank. And I don't know if you
You're
want
not
to do
getting
something
that
about
old, are
music or
you?
not. Yes, I am getting that old. I don't
Oh
know if you want to
man.
do something about music,
It's me that's
like
turning
something really
60
about
next
because I
week.
want to do something about music.
I mean next week. It's me that's turning 60 next
You know?
this year. Oh God. I'm just maybe I'm getting old.
Yes, this year. Yes, you are getting old, but
Oh. Anyway.
yeah. It's yeah. So no, I want to hit another music topic again. I would love to hit another music topic again.
More music,
Something
please.
happy.
Music makes me happy. I love it.
More music.
Happy songs? I don't
Where's
know.
the music?
Have
Okay.
we done happy songs?
Yeah, happy songs.
Sing a
I
simple song.
well, say a simple song. I was thinking about doing,
What?
and I don't know if this will resonate with you.
Let's see.
How about if we did a show about the songs in the Key of Life album? No,
Ooh.
you're
I,
not
I
feeling
mean,
that.
that would be fun. Although, again, it's so hard because we can't really play the album. But I would
Yeah, we
love
can't
that.
play the album. Yeah, we can't play the
We
album.
can't play the album. But what would be cool is if everybody listened
No, we
to
can't.
the album this week. And then next Sunday, we just break it down song by song. I love that. And now, again,
Okay, let's do it. Let's song.
but
The song.
it's different because back in the day, that was like a two-album set. Plus, you remember? You got the little
That was a three
extra.
album set.
It
That
was
was a
two.
three album set.
It was two albums, but then there was like an extra, like I don't know
Three.
whether it was a 45 or a 78.
I'm telling you, the three album set.
I beg to differ. I think the actual
The
album,
I know it was 3 albums. Songs of Kid Life
it
is
was
a
3
3-album set.
discs,
Yes, it
but
was
it
actual
wasn't. It was
3-album
2
set.
albums.
Yeah,
I don't know.
telling you. Songs of the Kid Life was 3 albums. Lisa, help me out. Songs of the Kid Life with 3 albums.
I don't think it was 3 albums though. I think it
I'm
was
pretty sure it was 3 albums.
I think it was 2 albums and then like a 48 or 78.
Mm-mm.
I
3
I
albums.
gotta check the Wikipedia on that because I remembered
Check
it was a
the reviews
double
on it. I'm
set, but I
telling you.
remember this other smaller uh, record, like a 45 that had like 4 songs on it, 2 songs on each side.
No, there's a 3-album set. I think it was 2. Lisa,
Okay, you know what?
you always
No,
had a tendency to
check
side with
the
Kathy all the time.
Wikipedia because it tells you it was okay. All right, side one, original side one had "Love's in Need of Love," "Have a Talk with God," Village Ghetto Land, Confusion, and Sir Duke. Side two, I Wish, Knocks Me Off My Feet, Pastime Paradise, Summer Soft, Ordinary Pain. Side three, so this is the second one, okay? Isn't She Lovely? Joy Inside My Tears, Black Man. Side four, so that's the second, okay, second album. Uh, I Am Singing, um,
Hmm.
If It's Magic, As, and Another Star. Now, a Something's Extra EP. Okay. So the original LP editions included a bonus 7-inch EP titled A Something's Extra, containing 4 bonus tracks. These songs were later included as bonus tracks on the CD and streaming versions of the album. And that had on one side Saturn and Ebony Eyes, and on the other, All Day Sucker and Easy Going Evening. So that was different. That was a 7-inch EP. And you know who the co-writer on Saturn was?
Michael Cimbello.
Oh, because you're looking it up too. He's a maniac, maniac from Flashdance fame.
Didn't he just pass away? Didn't
Did
he
he
pass
pass?
away?
Really? I didn't hear that. He was from Philadelphia. That much I know.
Um,
I don't see a death date
Michael Cimbello.
on his page,
No,
but
he's still alive. I'm killing all people for no reason. He's still alive. I'm killing all people for no reason.
all right. But
That's my
his
morbid
most
self.
famous song
Yeah,
was
he's from
Maniac.
Ardmore,
I didn't know
Pennsylvania.
he co-wrote with Stevie Wonder. But yeah, we could break down songs in the key of life. But I'm telling
Yes.
you,
Well,
yeah, there were 3 discs in there, but one was a smaller EP. That 7-inch EP was the one with Ebony Eyes and Saturn on it.
I stand corrected. I stand corrected.
Thank you.
I'll admit when I'm wrong. I stand corrected.
'Cause
What do you think is your favorite song? You have to listen to it again. What do you think is your favorite song on Songs of the Kid Life?
on Songs of the Key of Life. Oh my gosh. That's so hard. I want to say
Your
As.
favorite cut from Songs of the Kid.
That's a good question. I don't know. Oh, that I'm going to be listening to that all week now. I want to say As. I just think there's something
Yeah,
about As I love. But if I listen
I
to the whole thing, I'm sure there's going to be other stuff cuz now in my head I'm hearing I am singing of tomorrow. Oh God. That is just such a
well,
phenomenal
for
album.
some reason one of my favorites off that whole compilation is If It's Magic.
Ah,
There's something
that's
about
good.
that song that's just like so peaceful. It's
But
so
Another
peaceful. It's
Star is
so
good. I
beautiful.
mean, that I mean, and granted, some people don't consider
Well,
it
yeah.
his best album.
FBI.
They consider Inner Visions his best album, but Songs in the Key of Life, and I think part of it comes from when it came out, and like, you know, certain songs, depending on what grade you were in, in middle school or high school, certain albums resonate with you. I know in seventh grade, I went through a whole Parliament Funkadelic phase, but yeah, Songs in the Key of Life is, it
Oh,
is
that's what
life.
I found.
Mm.
I found a the vinyl of Parliament Funkadelic, the Uncle Jam album
Oh, wow.
with
That's
Knee Deep
kicking it
on it.
old school, kicking it old school.
I got that. I
Uh,
got that in my
well, listen, we're
yes,
at the
yes,
hour, so
yes.
we are going to cut out. But next week we'll be talking songs in the key of life. So we'll hit some Instagram posts and Facebook posts for you to tell us your favorite song from that album, Songs in the Key of Life. It is an epic, epic album. So we're all going to go listen to it now. Lisa's right, because I can't pick a favorite. I'm saying As,
Yeah,
because that's the one I could listen to that all day long and
yeah.
every day on repeat. That's your
That's
deserted
like the
island
version with George
album,
Michael and Mary
definitely.
J. That's like the version also with George Michael and Mary J.
Oh, have you heard? Oh, I heard their take on it. I love their version too.
Yeah, I heard your take on it. Yes,
Yeah.
it's decent. The video is kind of confusing, but yeah.
Oh, I like the video with the doppelganger, like, just the images of them going in and out of the video. I think it's kind of cool. George
Yeah,
Michael, another one
yeah,
gone too soon. But anyway,
yeah,
we are out of here for this week.
yeah.
Have a great week, people, and enjoy the rest of your week on purpose. I'm going to steal that. As always, in parting, we
Yes,
wish you love, peace, and pop
yes.
culture.
God bless your soul and keep living peace.
Thank you for geeking out with Kathy and Kenny on Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture.